So hey, we're here looking at the Nitro wood carver, and it's a board I was just fascinated with after the demos and didn't really get a chance to really put it through its paces. So I just said fuck it, and I bought it with the hard-earned Good Ride dollars. And you know, just want to put some more time on it, get to know it a little better. Fascinated by the super deep side cut. You know, these little, you can barely see it, but they're these little extensions. Maybe you can see it better this way, but like, let's see, it's like right here and kind of right here, you can see just a little bump in the side cut, the very deep side cut, to kind of give it a little more grip and give it a little more power in snow. And so far I've only had soft snow to try it with. But then you can also see, look at this mostly camber profile. There's just a touch of early rise, and then when you press down, they call it cam out. You can kind of see how the camber profile pops up a little bit. I've only had it in a little bit of soft snow and some powder, and it floated pretty well, and it's kind of exciting. You can kind of see, you know, the base is just kind of standard clear with some wood stuff going on. It's really much better under the pretty lights. It's a really pretty color. It's like all fake wood, I believe, with just this nice kind of glossy, you know, look on the top. Kind of reminds me like of a boat, or you know, an old longboard, you know, glassed up really well, not glossed. And then you know, you can see you got a very directional ride. It's very you know, it's very nose heavy and tail light, and that's kind of cool. And you can see it's got a nice low profile, so it, even though there's not that much rocker going on in the nose, like I can barely see, like I think it just kind of ends right about here, just a little before the nose, maybe even not. But look at this healthy boa camber. That's super fun. And then you can kind of see, like, you know, they're really cool with pardon me, with giving you your stance width. You can see like 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, you know, 20. So, you know, just getting a good reference stance of like 22 and a half is pretty easy, and you can kind of figure out how to do it. I really like that. It's kind of fun, and you know, it can work, you know, and you can play around with that. But here's the most important part: is if you're getting this, this is really going to shine in groomers and kind of be, powder is going to kind of be an afterthought for this, but it, from what we've seen in a little bit of powder, I wouldn't take this out in the deep, like, you know, if you're comparing this to other free ride boards that have a lot more rocker in the nose, you know, they're gonna float a lot better, but there's still a good setback on board, and good float for a mostly, almost all camber board. And we experienced that firsthand. But if we're just using regular inserts, there's only 5 inserts, I wish there were 6, but if we're just using regular inserts and measuring it, it's 23 1/4 right here. And then if we set it all, oh wait, let's talk about the stance width, sorry. You're looking at 23 all the way back, or no, about 22 3/4 if you set it all the way back, which isn't a bad stance width, and you could probably, you know, slide this down a little bit to get to like 22 and a half or something like that, which is, a, you know, even more common. But so you've got 23 1/4 to here, like I just said, and then you have 16 1/4 here. So you're looking at 7 1/4 back on board, which is really solid. And you could even go further back if you use mini discs, or you take bindings that you can set up, like my Union Atlas. I can set them up mini disc style if I want to, and you're looking more at 23 and a half and 16. So you're looking at 7 and a half. So is that right? Yeah. Yeah, just about 7 and a half. Yep, 7.5. So, you have a very good setback on board that's going to hang in all but the deepest of the deep. So, and then if you want that effortless float and you're kind of an all-directional rider, you might really like, to pair this up with something that has, rocker from here or something like that, or continuous rocker or something really floaty and playful. But if you know how to ride a camber board, and know how to keep your speed and know how to plane correctly and just make it down to the bottom perfectly, then you won't have any issues with this board and you'll think it floats great, especially for a camber board. The edges are so sharp, I had to kind of do a quick detune because I was afraid I was just going to accidentally slit my wrist or slit my hand open. But I gotta say, I'm just super impressed with the way this board this board rides and carves, and I'm looking forward to doing follow-up reviews, and you'll see above more in-depth reviews and more footage. And but it's just a really fun board, and it's one of my favorite boards so far to carve with and to really make good turns with out of all the free ride boards. So that's where it stands out. And it can kind of handle an all-day resort day. It can do a pretty good job across the board, and it's got a pretty stiff flex. But that's what this board is for. It's for fun driving directional turns and really having a good time. And for a season the way this is coming out to be, that's kind of not so much powder, but a lot of groomers and a lot of sometimes good groomers to hard snow. This is one of those great choices, and I think it could even hang out, like on the East Coast or some places where it's really hard. And it comes in a wide variety of sizes, so pretty stoked on this board all around, and think it could be a really good addition for somebody's quiver. So there you have it. That's the Nitro wood carver. It's always tough to get on their boards and get an extended demo, so that's why I just bought this, mainly because of all your user requests. All you readers out there who asked me to review more Nitro, I sucked it up and just straight up bought it myself to honor those requests.